All right, welcome back to another edition of AI and Finance Demo Edition. I wanted to jump back into a tool that I've used before. I haven't been using it lately, but it's called Perplexity. They recently came out with something called Perplexity Computer, and I've heard about it, I've read about it, I haven't used it. And so I thought I would go and use it for the first time with you all. Now, what I've always liked about Perplexity is that it has like real-time news. It's done really good there. It's done really good on like I found like the finance section and the stock research section has been really informative and useful. I've seen my team also use it on stock research and stock analysis as well and find very much value in it. I moved away from it a little bit on research because I found Google Gemini being really good there, but I wanted to come back to it and I wanted to try out this Perplexity computer. I'm starting with a blank slate. I have no idea how this is going to work. The thing is that it uses the models that are already out there. So it's kind of like a glorified wrapper that's caught a lot of traction because of how it shows and positions the data. But what I was going to do here is, and I'm going to use my voice mode here in a second, but I wanted to ask Perplexity Computer to build me a basically a web app that allows for me to see a specified list of stocks, and I'll let it populate it with just the Dow Jones 30, but allow me to change the stocks, and then also allow me to add them to different portfolios just to monitor because I want to see stock performance, I want to see stock news of like stocks that I'm following. So I just want to see what it's able to do on this and see how it builds it. So let's try this. I'm just going to, and again, I use this voice dictation app called Whisper when I'm talking to LLMs because it makes it easier to talk than to type. And so I'm going to talk and describe what I'm wanting. And let's just see how Perplexity Computer does it. So what I want is a usable web app that I can track and monitor stocks that I'm watching. And I really want to understand the performance of those stocks, how they're trending, what's driving. I want to be able to fish, and I want there to be like a very useful dashboard, but then I can also dive into each individual stock. And then finally, I want to be able to add stocks to specific portfolios. So create multiple portfolios and add a certain number of stocks to those so that I can have, for different clients, different portfolios and watch how their stocks are doing and have news. And what I really want is when I go into a portfolio or go into the dashboard, I want to know what's been driving the performance over the last quarter and year to date. So I want to have like a summary that's very digestible that I can just click into and say what's been driving the performance. Why are the stocks up or down from the news, the economy, etc. So that I can have a simple digest there. So you can see I elaborate a little bit more on this. I'm just going to let it go and see. I made it a little bit bigger than I initially thought, but I'm sure it's going to take a little bit of time for this to work and then see how it goes. Now, the thing is I may run out of, I think it takes tokens. So here I have to approve the build a usable full stack web app for track and watch stocks, data model, define, dashboard experience, portfolio views, stock drill downs, interactivity and persistence, design and QA deployment, build, run, deploy, preview URL you can open and use. What's implementing limitations? All right, let's approve. We'll just let it go. I'm not know how to code, but that sounds good. I just want to see what it can build in basically one shot based on that prompt. And so I'll have a website building agent implement the app in the workspace while I track the progress and handle final deployment myself. I'll ask it to use backed data model, finance dashboard, seeded examples, and a clear handoff so subsequent edits get straightforward. So we're going to see what happens here. I'm going to let this run. You can see it's like going to get a sub agent. It's using multiple agents to help build this, which is the new model. And it actually, you saw it was defaulted to Claude or to Chat 5.5, and it moved to Claude Opus 4.7 because Opus 4.7 is a better development model. And so we'll see how it builds here, and I'll come back when it's ready, which it'll probably take, if I were to guess, 10, 15 minutes, I would say. But I'm going to go do some other things, come back, just like you can. You can go start building it, come back, and we'll see how useful it becomes. All right, so we're back, and it took a lot longer than I was expecting. Now, I gave it a pretty big task to do. Usually, I would go build a technical spec with Claude Code, Claude Code would go and do step by step. And what you see here is that I ran out of credits. So I wasn't able to get the whole thing done. It ran out of credits, but I wanted to show what it was able to get done because I still think it's really useful and interesting. So if we pull this, I'm going to pull this over so we can see it. This is the dashboard. It put in just different portfolios, or it just put in like some fake data, sample demo data. What's driving the performance? Waitlist average across all portfolios, 22 to 23 tickers are positive. Quarter leaders, utility leaders year to date. Top driver themes, Apple Intelligence rollout, services revenue, China iPhone demand, mega, cap tech leadership, DOJ, like hurt, Azure helped. So it gives you some of these themes, which is interesting. I kind of like that. You scroll down, you have the year-to-date top gainer exposure. You can click into each of these. Pretty good view here. Very similar to what they show in Perplexity General. But you can see here driver tags, COVID, franchise decline, pipeline progress, cost out execution were some drivers. That's just good, right? Like right from there, just have some simple stuff. You can go back to all stocks. We can also click into the dashboard. We see here's like these different families. So if I click into the Reynolds Family Trust, you can see this portfolio, quarter to date, year to date. I can edit. What can I edit here? Oh, I can edit the name, the description. Okay, that's interesting. I can add a ticker, so I can search for, let's see, Bank of America, and I can add it. I don't know if that's going to work because it's not finished. So that's okay. But you see here that leading to the portfolio this quarter, NE and Costco, detractors, UNH and XOM, year to date. So some tailwinds. Like this is what I thought was valuable about this. And like thinking about it this way is like, I mean, the world is our oyster. Is this different than Yahoo Finance? Probably not much. Is it different than our portfolio management system? Maybe, maybe not. But what I found with this, my thought behind this was like, if I'm on the phone with a client real quick and I want real-time information on different stocks on their portfolio and I want talking points on their portfolio, I can use this as talking points. Here's some tailwinds. Like what's driving it? We have some mega tech leadership. Search share stable. Google Cloud margins are good. You know, news, NEW, I don't know what that is. That's company. Oh, initiate dividend, but you don't know who. So like I could make some improvements here, but I could have Apple Intelligence rollout. You know, mega cap leadership, Azure had 31%. So that's to Microsoft. That's good. Drivers and catalyst feed. So sample driver tabs by holding. So Google search DOJ antitrust remedy ruling is hurting them. So like these, like if they bring up, it's like, well, I see what's happening here. And like, it would be cool if I could tap into this and see a little bit more of it. Would be interesting. Rate cut tailwind is helping there, right? So this is like just a quick view that I can look at to talk to a client on without having to go to multiple different, areas. And I can see all the different stocks here. I can click into them. I can see about the data. Where does it come from? All that information. And so I actually think that this is pretty useful. I would be interested to take that same prompt and build something inside of Claude and maybe connect it to Perplexity as an API or connect it to something else as an API. But for a one straight shot, this gives me something. Can I use it right away? No, because I ran out of credits. I would need more credits, which means that the cost of tokens is what's real here. But I think that this is like what I found valuable here is we can reimagine our workflow. Whether we use this or not, we can say, well, that is something we want or something we don't want. And if it's something we want, then we can spend the time and effort to build it, which then will provide the ROI longer term. And I think that that is the beauty of it. I just spoke to Perplexity of something that I desired, and it gave me an idea. So now the ability of being creative, the gap between creativity and ideation and execution has shrunk. And that, I think, allows for advisors to differentiate themselves. And tools like Perplexity Computer, Claude Code, whatever you want to think about, can provide things like this. And I think Claude Code, for less cost, can get you, because I don't know how much the tokens are, because right now Perplexity is trying to make money, and then they're also paying Claude money. And so there's like another layer on there. But what this is allowing me to do is like I can then go and build it if I want it, or I can say, no, that's not really it. I can tweak it and do all that. And I think that that's just something that's really super interesting as well. So I want to know what this does here. Oh, how many credits used? So this used 1,000 credits of text. I don't have any more credits left. And it worked for 19 minutes. But you see the opportunity. And so I would go play around Perplexity Computer. Maybe do something like smaller scale. I tried to build a pretty robust app in one shot. But maybe try to do something a little bit smaller and then grow it from there as you start to get more comfortable. So here's how you use Perplexity Computer. Very interesting, very useful, and hope you found another AI in Finance demo edition useful for you going forward. Have a great day.